Greetings, everyone. This is Jane Quazar from the Zorra of Hollow Earth website, here with Zaraya. And so good day to all of you. Good day, good afternoon, wherever you are. All right, so before we begin the show, let me just go ahead and do just a couple of things. So just hang in there. As you know, we're going to have a wonderful call today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring Zaraya through, as well as our special guest today. All right. So we'll have Zaraya come and say hello. And then I'm just going to go ahead and bring our special guest in as well. Hello. Hello, dear.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. And you can hear me too,
Very
right?
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if you will, just say hello to our beloved family. And, of course, before I get
Hello,
started,
beloved family.
Yes, and today is December the 2nd, 2018. This is our last month of 2018.
Actually, no, it's the first, dear.
It's the first? Today is the second.
It's the first. Saturday the 1st.
No, today is Sunday. We're having our call on Sunday.
Okay, my watch is out of whack, I guess. My watch is not caught up with the day.
That's okay. Well, if you will, just hang in there, everybody. Let me go ahead and bring our special guest, Ted Marr. Hold on. Let me do that right now.
You were going to bring him on at 10 o'clock, dear.
No. He wants to listen to our call. So he asked me.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yes, of course. Yeah. All right.
Never mind.
Yeah. And if you will, all right. So here, let's go ahead and do this. We'll do this first before we begin our show with our invocation. So it's been a while since we've had him on our call, and many people probably are not familiar with Ted Marr. So, but we're going to fill them in as soon as we get him on. Yeah, he'll be coming in on our call at about 10 o'clock. So we'll just go do our regular show, but he wants to come in to join us. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Okay, he should be. Hopefully he'll answer right away. And he won't. Huh.
Okay. Hold on a second, folks. Let me just go ahead and cancel that for a second. All right. Okay. Why don't we do this, everyone, if you can, and you know how this goes sometimes. Sometimes we can't reach people. And
why don't you call me back? I'll get off the call and give him a call.
No. I have a better idea. Okay, hold on.
Better idea?
Yeah. Check your number. I want to make sure that I have his number.
My number?
Yeah.
His number. Contacts.
Together yet? What up? Okay, if you can just show that to me. It's exactly what I had. I'll go ahead and try the same number again. All right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I had the correct number, folks. And I'll go ahead and bring him in again. In the meantime, here we are again on December the 2nd. We thought we'd all be at the banks. And I know it's not funny, but it's just really amazing how things work out. Don't quite work out the way we'd planned it to be. And that's because all of the events are really working concurrently with things outside of our control. All right, so let me go ahead and call Ted in one more time, folks. All right, I want to make sure that I have that correct. Yep. All right, let's try it again. One more time.
Hello, this is Ted.
Well, welcome, Ted. This is Jane and Billy, and welcome to our
hi,
show.
My friend. Oh, wonderful.
I'm going to just
Thank you so much for...
Yes, I'm going to put you on before our introduction at 10 o'clock. I'm just going to go ahead and put you on mute if you don't mind.
No, go right ahead. I'll just make some coffee, make some breakfast, and I'll just listen. That'd be great.
Okay, go
now,
for it. Thank you, Ted. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm not in the greatest cell area, so if I drop off, just call me back. Okay?
Oh, sure. Not a problem. Okay, very good, Ted. Thank you. All right.
Okay, thanks so much.
Ted. Okay, there we go. All right, everyone. We are good to go on this fabulous day. Okay, so everyone just go ahead and find your, favorite spot for just relaxing and, going into some silence and let's go ahead and begin. So everyone close your eyes. Hopefully many of you have your headbands on. Feet planted on the floor, either sitting upright or on the, up against a tree if you're outdoors, or against a chair outdoors, feet planted on the ground, if at all possible. And Zaraya, if you could put yourself on mute, if you will. Thank you. Everyone take a 3 or 4 or 5, 6 breaths in, bringing in that beautiful life force energy filled with Source's beautiful, brilliant, golden white, pink, now for the wonderful love that we all are. So this is the golden white, pink light. And bring that in to the crown. Let it swirl around, penetrating every cell, every particle, subatomic particle of your body, spirit body. Down your throat, down your shoulders, down to your fingertips, all the way down to your toes. And relax and let go of all lower density vibrational frequencies that you no longer need nor want. Another deep breath in as you begin to cleanse and clear all of your chakras, releasing, relaxing. Golden white light all the way down to your toes. Bring all that golden white light as well. Let that go into Terra Christa, all the way down to the central sun. Another deep breath in, and also envision this light, this golden white light coming in from the central sun of Hollow Earth as it passes and brings forth its enormous love and light as well into your bodies, and have them both center into your heart-mind. Relaxing ever so easily, feeling all of your muscles relax, no tension, all the bones, all the nerve endings. Just relax. And you can see and feel your bodies, and I say bodies, and I'm not we're not talking about just your physical body. We're talking about not just your physical, but also your emotional, mental, spiritual body, auric body, ethereal bodies as well. And relax. And as you relax, you're bringing yourself into full balance. And we shall begin. Let's begin with our Saint Germain's violet flame of transmutation. I am my I am presence. I breathe love and light into my heart-mind center. I am a temple of light. And I call forth the full power of the violet flame of forgiveness to transmute all the causes, core effects, habits, records, and memories of every thought, feeling, word, or action I have ever expressed in any time frame or dimension, known or unknown, that reflects anything associated with such things as poverty consciousness, victimhood, frustration, powerlessness, low vitality, suffering, ill health, disease, misuse of male or female energy, misuse of power, self-hatred, shame, belief in being bad, fear, rage, negative judgment and prejudice, attachment to people doing things my way, or lack and limitation of any kind. And so with forgiveness and love as my intention in every second of my life, I blaze the violet flame through every atomic and subatomic particle and wave of precious life energy that has my signature on it in any place and time that reflects anything less than the infinite perfection of my God, Goddess self. I trust my God, Goddess self, Mother, Father, God, Prime Creator and Source, to transmute every speck of my being into the highest love and light, great health, and great abundance. Fill the space with the golden white light of Source's infinite love, light, health, and abundance. And in the name of my God and Goddess self, I accept this as accomplished. And so it is, and I know it. Breathe in and breathe out. This transformation. No more lower density energies about you. Only the highest love and light of who you truly are, the God and Goddess connection that you are, which is your higher self, your God, Goddess self. And welcome, everyone, to our Zorra of Hollow Earth call today. It's so wonderful to be here once again with all of you. And with this, I should like to bring Zaraya again to our call. Zaraya, or Billy, as we know Billy to be. Could you unmute yourself?
I just did.
Thank you and welcome.
Well,
And
welcome
as
to
we
you
begin
too.
our show, yes, so as we begin our show, I'd like to see if you have anything you would like to share with our family before Zorra comes through.
It seems like, we keep having what you call glitches, or what you call putting off our blessing. And the thing that my father said was to don't hate those that are, opposing our blessing. Just send them love. And that is the key. Just continue sending them love, that they will straighten up, fly right, and do what's right. And so that's all we can do. And we have to do our part by just sending endless love to them, no matter what we think. But as you also understand, as thought is the creator, as thought always is, you have to be careful what you think also. And that's also key. So when you get up in the morning and you look on your emails and you don't see what you would hope to see, or you don't receive the 800 number or whatever, just continue to uphold it in a positive understanding. Just voice any dissatisfaction with it because it's not there, or it's not showing up on your screen. Just know that it is done, that it is going on, that we do have some people that have exchanged already, and just know that your turn is coming. And just continue sending out a love vibration to those that are putting a block up. And continue and continue and continue to hold that understanding and knowingness that it's done, and that you will receive your announcement, whether it be through an email or a 800 number or whatever, and know that it's done. Past tense. So that's what I have to say.
Beautifully said, Zaraya. We certainly do appreciate that. Thank you. Very well said. Mm-hmm. Before we bring your dad to the show, I would like to just say a few announcements, just to get people up to date on some of the calls that we're going to be having. So the first one is for tomorrow, which is December the 3rd, Monday. We will be having a product call, and it will be on, well, we shall see whether it's going to be on Blog Talk or whether it's going to be on a free conference call, most likely a free conference call, everyone. And I will get that number to you before the call is over today. For some of you that cannot access our newsletters, I will say in regards to the newsletter, since many of you do email me or leave me a message that they don't know about the calls, go ahead to our website and do sign up. That's how you're going to know precisely when our calls will be. So again, our website is http://ZorraofhollowEarth.com. All right? Okay. Now, secondly, we also have a very special call on Wednesday. Jared Rand, we're going to be having it through Jared Rand's free conference call, and he will have a couple of very special guests. One is Ananda Devi as well as Ramaji. We all understand what meditation is all about with Jared, and he has such an enormous power to be able to bring the source energy to all of us in his meditations, along with his very, very inspiring and thought-provoking messages as well. Ananda Devi, as well as Ramaji, will be coming in to also talk with you about their awakening process, how to enhance what you presently are doing, and it's another step, another enhancement, just like products. It seems that we are always being given access to new products. And so, therefore, this is another, not a product, but another awakening type of a call for all of you. All right. And then, so that's going to be on Wednesday with his Time for Change call, and that's at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then on the 7th, on December the 7th, Dr. Russell Johnson has a call, and it's going to be the launching of his new radio show, which is at www.nnradio.com. Again, that's www.nnradio.com, which is 95.3 FM. And then, so at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, his first show is going to be with beloved Jared Rand. So that'll be a very, very interesting, and we can't wait to listen to that call. And that's pretty much, I hope, the updates so far for this particular week. Oh, another reminder as well for all of you already that have and are interested in learning more about the limbic arc. Ron Spence, who is the affiliate, he is the affiliate master for Limbic Arc. He has calls every Tuesday and Thursday evenings. So if you wish, you could go to limbicarc.com or just go to your back office and check the times of when they are. All right? Okay. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's a fun-filled, informative, and helpful, inspiring calls to be on. And so let's go ahead and now get started with Zorra. Hey, Zorra, are you there with us?
Indeed. I'm here.
Wonderful to have you on the call today. It's been a little while, a
Indeed.
couple of weeks at least since we've spoken. And I think I'm going to go
Indeed.
ahead and let you take over the show.
Take over the show.
Well, take over with your messages for today, Zorra.
My message to you all is to continue doing what you're doing in the process of what is called giving forth loving vibrations to all those out there that seem disheartened and seem what is called let down and what is called confused and bewildered in your understanding of the global currency reset, or the RV as you slang term for it. It is not in your sight. So I say to you, continue to sending forth your love vibrations to those that are trying to put it off and trying to do what is termed as to put blocks in the way. And I tell you this: it is inevitable that it is happening, And so whatever blocks they put up or whatever hindrances they put in your way, understand that it's done. Understand that it is done. And know that it is done. And continue, but do continue forth, giving out a love vibration out to those who are doing wrongfully against you, to try and convince you that this is not going to happen, that this is a scam, or that this is a farce, or that I am lying to you, or someone else is lying to you, or whatever. Always hold fast to your love vibration and to your transmission, giving forth the love from you to all those out there. And if you're on the road, I'm speaking also to Zaraya, when you're behind the wheel of a vehicle, do not let what is called circumstances of other people, other beings who do not show the proper way to operate their vehicle, so not to get upset with that. And that is one of the what is called pet peeves, as you term it, with Zaraya and transportation. So, but that also goes out to all others who have a similar understanding and irritation for those that don't seem to know how to operate their vehicle properly, and in driving, changing lanes and things of this nature. So just send forth love to them too, and continue giving forth love to yourself. Always remember to love yourself for all situations. When you get up in the morning, simply go to a window, open the window, and shout out, what a wondrous, glorious, and loving day it is. And it shall be a wondrous, glorious, and loving day. And that is what you want all the time. You want to continue receiving love from the universe. And of course, the universe, you send out love to the universe sends it right back to you. So continue sending forth these love vibrations, and you will receive love vibrations in return. And if you send out what is called negativity, you're going to get negativity back. So don't do that. Always send out positive affirmations, positive, which is called transmissions from yourself. You do not want to draw yourself down into the lower understandings, because you are not a lower understanding. You are 5D, 5D, and that is what you need to get your heart, mind, and your body to accept that you are in fifth dimension, not third or fourth, but fifth. You need to catch up with Terra Christa. So, and this is, your planet that you are a guest upon, and all populations are only a guest upon her. She is your host. Treat her properly. Treat her with love. Treat her with compassion. And also treat all those around you with love and compassion as well. Always remember that you are just a guest upon this world. You are not a permanent resident. That is what you need to understand. And you also need to understand that giving forth a positive love vibration out from you will make your day a happy day. It will make others happy that are around you, because they will see the love and the happiness coming, exhuming, coming throughout your being. You will have a glow about you. and they will recognize it, and they will see it, and they will wonder why you're so happy. And you tell them why you're so happy. By word of mouth, a world can change. By word of mouth, you can change others. And by word of mouth, you spread the message of true love, of true understanding, of true enlightenment of what you have already, that you already know yourself, of what you are, of what you have always been, and you will always be. Gods, goddesses, and healers. All of you are just that. You are healers. That is part of your heritage. You are gods and goddesses. That is also part of your heritage. Just understand this and continue to hold fast to it, and you will see your world change around you. And you will see those who are doing you, giving you difficulty, they will change too, because they will see that they cannot ruffle your feathers. I believe that is one of the terms on the surface of the world. They will not be able to cause you harm. They will not be able to cause you discomfort. They will not be able to draw you down into the lower densities. Then when they realize that they cannot do this, they will change, because it is inevitable that they do. Understand that Mother Earth is in full fifth dimension understanding, and you are catching up with her. So the more you state that you are in fifth dimension, your physical understanding will also be altered, and your what you call your carbon-based form is going to change to a crystalline-based form. And when that starts to occur, that is when you will be walking through walls without thinking about it, or you will be receiving transmission, your downloads from your galactic families, and you will be able to understand them very readily, and you will not only receive the download, but you will remember what you have received, because the block and the veil are being removed from this planet, from this Terra Christa. And as it is being removed, you are coming to the realization of awakening and the realization of knowingness. And that is your ultimate goal, to bring forth the knowingness, not the belief, but the knowingness of who you actually are and what you are actually capable of. What I mean by capable of, you have the ability within your being to purify water, to purify your foods, to purify whatever your fruits and your vegetables and whatever consumables you take in. You can purify them. You have the ability within your own two hands to erase chemtrails. You have within your own two hands the ability to heal others. And I do mean heal them instantly. You have that ability within you. You just have to realize that you have it and know that you have it. In your Bible, I'm talking with those that are Christian, of Christian understanding. In your Bible, in your original Dead Sea Scrolls, it states the following: God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and with our powers and abilities." Unfortunately, that last part was not put into your Christian Bibles of America and your publishing companies. They did not include that, what you call the most important key to the understanding of the scriptures. And that part is to know that you can do it. Jesus said it. Yeshua said it. Sananda said it. Marvel not what I do, for greater shall you do, if you only know that you can. And you can, beloveds. You can indeed. You are the gods and goddesses that are going to change the face of Terra Christa, that are going to change the people around you, and your loved ones, and your families are going to see this difference in you, and they are going to want that difference. And you are going to be able to show them the difference by your actions, by your words, and by your deeds. So you will come to the understanding that you are gods and you are goddesses, and you will show it in your way that you exist. So continue to put away the bickering, to put away the negativities, to put away the negative thoughts. Always bring positive thoughts to your understanding and to those around you, and you will change. Are you feeling the increased energies that are coming upon Terra Christa? Have you felt them? I'm sure you have. What is it doing? It is transmuting your beings. It is in the process of changing your carbon-based understanding, carbon-based bodies, to that of crystalline base. And so that is what is the energies that are coming forth onto Terra Christa is doing. And it is being reinforced by the Galactic Federation, because they are also sending forth energy as well. Disclosure is right around the corner. Full galactic disclosure is also coming to fruition as well. And do also tune in to what is called the Amanda and the Ramaji this Wednesday.
Yes, that's the Zorra. That's the call with Jared Rand.
Indeed.
Yes,
Men in Black. Who are they?
No. Zorra, hold on a second. Excuse me. Could
Indeed.
you go back
well,
a
I'm
little bit?
I am reading an outline.
Maybe we could slow down a little bit on that outline, if that's okay with you.
It is fine with me.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So
Indeed.
before we go to disclosure, and if we could just stay on this topic for now. You know, you had spoken about that the RV is done. People already have already exchanged it. I remember some time ago when you said that it was going to be a trickle down effect. Is that true?
Indeed.
I mean, is it just going to be a very slow process where we are?
It is picking up momentum. It is not just a trickle down. It is beginning to flow. And as it flows, it will become a more rapid pace. So and that is what we're working toward now currently as Prime Creator and Source and myself and others are trying to bring it about before your what you call your Christmas celebration, as you term it, and we want you to have a merry and prosperous and abundant Christmas season, and of course that would happen when you receive your blessing.
Right. So I know that you're not. That is what the plan is, but the plan as it was the week before and the month before, that has been averted by the cabal.
Indeed.
Other events that have...
Or by minions.
That have taken over, that have come into play, and so therefore, it did not occur. So, it's just really hard for all of us. It seems like it's like we can see it, and then all of a sudden it disappears, and then we know that it's coming, and then it seems to be like an elusive butterfly. So I was just, So I just want to, if I can, and this is just for the sake of those that are really keeping track of it, all of us really understand that it is done. I think for most of us, we also know that is the truth within our hearts, because that is very key to the evolution of our, of our earth, of the inhabitants, et cetera, so we can move forward towards ascension, which we are anyways. But if I can ask a couple of more questions in regards to the ongoing process right now regarding the RV. So now we've gotten information that apparently we are also waiting for there was the, what is that? There was a conference of the leaders in Argentina, and that was supposed to kind of set things off as far as, bringing forth the RV. And now we're also, so I was wondering if you wanted to say anything else in regards to the that conference in Argentina. Apparently that had much to do with the trade, trade agreements in North America between Canada and Mexico and United States. I mean, was that key to having this RV?
No.
So what is key to having the RV presently then? I mean, so they had that done, and now they're saying that they want to have the RV before the global currency reset. And that was supposed to have been done already. And then, of course, there's the stock market crash that's also on the horizon. And that apparently is supposed to begin the arrest. So maybe you could just tell us a little bit about that, about the succession of events that are occurring, and where we are with the RV and GCR and the Saraiya, et cetera. Tell us a little bit what we're looking at, I guess, bringing it together a little bit more, so we understand better the events that are taking place.
We would prefer it to happen before disclosure, of course, as all beings would like to have this to occur. And as I have said before, there have been those who have exchanged already, and but as we also understand, they also had signed what you term as an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, and could not speak of it. And they also had some who did take what you call the street rate and did not have to sign such papers. So there are those out there who can speak forth, but question being, will they? And that is their own understanding to do so.
Yeah. Could you affirm, Zorra, that China has already RV'd? China and some other countries they have. So China has. Who else in the Far East has exchanged already?
Well, in the Far East, Singapore, what you term is what is called Japan, what is termed as some in the Ukraine, and what is termed some in Europe. So they are not. It is happening in a way that seems elusive, but and to many it is elusive. you also had what was called the Tier 1, 2, 3, and some of the 4s have also had their exchanges. So, and very shortly, of course, the general public will also get notification to do such a thing. And so it is happening. It has happened in many areas, and it will continue to happen. And the trickle-down effect is beginning to gain momentum and moving forward. And things are coming together quickly before the end of the year, and that is what we are pushing for. That is what we want, and that is what is in the divine plan, according to so presently. So, but as you know, that is always subject to change, and but we do not want the change. We would like it to stay on a steady course and happen before your Saturday.
Well, I 3 or 4 more questions regarding the RV and its development. We're expecting the stock market crash, and that's to begin the unsealing of the about 63,000 indictments, of corrupt politicians and the global elite.
That is still in the understanding, yes.
Oh, so that is in your understanding as well?
Of course.
About a stock market crash, and that's globally, right? Or are we talking primarily the United States?
It will be everywhere.
All right, okay. It will be everywhere as far as that. And then, when we're talking about the indictments, we're still talking also about the treason charges, with the Obama, the Clintons, Mueller, etc. I mean, they are part of that group that will be indicted. And we all thought that Obama, at the very beginning of his interim as president, that he was a good guy. Why is it now that he is going to be indicted?
For going along with his superiors, he has fallen into that area of blame. Even though he had no choice in the matter, but he is, according to the indictments, the understanding was that he was part of the instigation of it, but in reality, he was simply upon being pushed by a higher source.
Okay. Wow. Well, that's rather sad to hear. So he's not going to be. It doesn't sound like that he's going to be exonerated either, because it was a profound treason. So as far as we've talked about the national debt and the IRS, etc.
You understand, the only ones who have a national debt is the federal government, not the people.
Yeah.
The people are not in debt. It is only your so-called federal government. They are the ones that created the debt, and they are the ones that are going to have to answer for it, not the people. The people, the Republic, is not in debt to anyone, but your federal government or Federal Reserve System is. So they are in a bit of a pickle.
Okay. All right. A couple more things in regards to the release of the 800 numbers. it seems that H.W. Bush, it has now passed over. That's correct? Ascended?
What? Yes.
H.W. Bush has ascended. Is that correct, first of all? And he has a funeral.
Yes.
Apparently, from what we know.
Yes, he has ascended.
So where has he ascended to?
Without his body.
Planet? Without his body?
Yes, he is on what is called the sister Earth on the far side of the sun.
Interesting. Okay. So is that where all the people that are going to be indicted, are they all going there?
Yes, they all have accommodations waiting for them.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to just kind of bring up right now is that the Alaskan earthquake that we had, apparently in Big Lake, Alaska, was targeted by a resonance energy weapon known as, apparently from what Anna von Reitz has said, that there was like this green, beam that hit 0.0 earthquake. Could you confirm that or not?
Understand, the quaking of the earth in most cases is simply a zipper being opened to release pressure.
And so this one, yeah.
And this one was simply that.
Well, they said they saw the green beam.
They said many things.
From the Air Force base that struck the lake.
That beam would not have that type of effect upon Terra Christa.
7.0 earthquake, it would not, huh?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well,
that was a natural releasing of pressure by way of unzipping a zipper in that area.
All right. And then lastly, Zorra, we have had so much exposure of the pedophiles and children being abused and sex trafficking and all of those ugly, horrible actions, again, being I think we have had enough announcements in regards to that. Tell us kind of where things are at with that so that we can remove that completely. Are we still talking about the cabal being involved in all of this? And, the cabal is still...
Not the hierarchies, as you term it, just the minions.
Uh-huh.
And understand... all this is coming out because it must come forth. It must come out to be exposed. And the more it is exposed, the more outrage there will be against it. And the more that they become exposed, the more they are going to want to hide. And of course they cannot hide because they are being observed by the Galactic Federation, and they will be collected. They will be removed once they are fully what is called exposed for what they were, what they are, and what they are doing. Then they will be collected and put elsewhere.
Thank you. Well, it looks like I still have two more questions before we bring Ted in. Thank you for your patience over there, Ted. One other question that has, I think on that outline, Zorra, tell us a little bit about this call with Ananda Devi and Ramaji and why they are coming in to help maybe to enhance the, just in terms of just helping people to just become more in tune with their ascension process and awakening. Could you tell us a little bit about these two individuals that will be talking on Jared's call on Wednesday?
There are another two messengers that have been brought forth to give the truth of what is happening, to give the truth of what can be and will be. So they are messengers, just as I am a messenger, just as Zaraya is a messenger, just as you are a messenger. They are simply another messenger, another modality to use.
Yeah. Yes, to help in the awakening process, correct?
Indeed, correct.
Yes. Yes. So we invite everyone to please come and join Jared and all of us on his Time for Change call. So thank you for that. And then the last question I have has been brought up by our one of our beloved family members, and that is Charlie, and wants to know, are the men in black still here? And who are they, and why are they here? The men in black, Zorra.
Originally, the men in black's purpose was to dissuade people from exposing the reality of extraterrestrial beings upon the earth. And that was their purpose at the time. Now their purpose has become less, which is called intrusive, because they have realized that the more ships that appear in the sky, the more people are going to see them. And their position on this matter is coming to a close, because they will not be able to sway anyone about anything, due to the fact that seeing the arrow ships in the sky will become so numerous that they would not be able to keep up. So simply put, they are becoming unemployed.
Were they always of a villainous nature? I mean, was that their intent?
Their intent was to hide the truth from the public, general public. And they used tactics that would create fear in those who had experienced these experiences, and fear in what is called being threatened by these beings to not bring forth their experience. And of course, like as I said, was then. And now they are losing their grip, as it is so termed, and their grip is becoming less and less. And soon there will be no more men in black, as you term them.
Well, very good, Zorra. I think it's, I'd like to go ahead and bring our guest, Ted Marv, into the show. I was wondering if you could just let yes, if you could let our family know a little bit about Ted Marv, and I will also say a couple of words as an introduction. So let me go ahead first.
He is also a messenger who has been bringing forth the message of truth about what is going on, about what will be going on. And so he is another messenger, but he is more in the forefront, or advanced, what's called advanced team, if you will, of knowledge that is being brought forth to him. He is receiving his communications from the former President Kennedy and other beings who have ascended. So Kennedy is just one of several, And of course, he will let you know who they are when he comes to speak. And so, as it is said in many instances, without further ado, you should bring on Ted.
I shall. I know that Ted is here. Hello, Ted, and welcome, Ted Marr.
Well, hi, Jane. Hi, Zorra. Hi, Billy. It's so good to talk to all of you today. It's really, really wonderful to hear your voice.
If I can, Ted, I'd like to just give I'd like to add a little bit more to the introduction that Zorra had given you. So for all of you, I would like to say that Ted Marr has a vast history, and he could probably explain that a little bit more in terms of what he did prior to moving into this spiritual journey that he's been on. He is also a channel and a psychic, and has been communicating with the other side of the veil for about 23 years. So he also hosts this marvelous radio show, which is called Out of This World, 1150.com. And besides that, he also hosts television productions over by the Seattle area as well. But most importantly right now, he's published a book called Messages from the Masters. It's a cosmic book of galactic wisdom, and you could purchase that directly. We have a link on our website so that you can go ahead and purchase his book. And as Zorra was saying, he is able to communicate with beings of the other side, such as Albert Einstein, Nostradamus, and Leonardo da Vinci, and Nikola Tesla, etc. So, without further ado, okay, Ted, please take over and welcome to our show.
Oh, thank you so much, Jane. I really appreciate it. And Zorra, thank you so much and Billy, thank you so much for your kind words earlier. It's not been an easy journey for me here, but I'm glad to be here. It's funny. I had a near-death experience many years ago, back in January of '78, where I was hit head-on by a drunk driver, and I almost died in the accident, but I lived. And when I was recuperating at my parents' farm outside of Olympia, Washington, in April of '78, I'll never forget the day when I was back in the middle of their woods. They had these beautiful woods, and the sun was coming through this misty, cloudy morning, this misty, foggy morning. And I asked God why I was spared, and the answer I got was that I had a lot more work to do, and I was here for a purpose. Well, it took me a long time to realize that purpose, but pardon me, back in the Atlantean days, I was one of the people, the light workers back then, 12,500 years ago, who tried to stop a small cabal, if you will, a military group, political group, from destroying the planet. Well, we failed, and they ended up destroying much of the planet. But the good news is that we're back again, and this time we're going to win. No matter what they do, they've lost the battle, and as Zorra said, we are on track to create a beautiful, bright, benevolent civilization. From what Jack Kennedy, President Kennedy's told me, it's the destiny of this planet to become a far better and much more benevolent planet, a planet that's going to be free of poverty, free of war, free of want. Basically, when we realize that we all are very powerful spiritual beings, and that's what I like about your message, Zorra, is that you said before that we all have the ability, for example, to heal ourselves, and that's absolutely true. I experienced that in September this year when I was camping at Mount Shasta. Every year I go twice a year to Mount Shasta, because I always love seeing my Telosian friends and connecting with them. And Adama came to me in a dream one night, and he said, "Ted, you can see crystal clear spiritually now, and we think you're ready to physically see clear again. And the reason he said that is because about 42 years ago, I sunburned the retina of my right eye, resulting in 20/50 vision, 20/40, 20/50 vision. So it's blurry, far-sighted vision in my right eye. And so I said I'd love a healing, and so the next morning he restored my eyesight. I now have 20/10 crystal clear vision in both eyes. And that's an example of what can happen. A lot of times, too, as you advance spiritually, the aging process actually stops or starts to reverse. So I've met people before who are wonderful spiritual people, for example, in their mid-60s or 70s, and they look like they're in their 30s or 40s. It's just amazing. But, we're going to face some challenges. The fires in California were disturbing, but they were, from what I'm told, they were directed energy weapons, and they were done by the cabal. It's kind of a last, they know they've lost, but it was kind of a last hurrah, or a last, analogous to the Battle of the Bulge maybe in World War II, where the negative entities are trying one last time to instill fear. It won't work because the planet is becoming lighter and lighter, and the vibrations are rising. I'll give you one example. For tens of thousands of years, what's called the Schumann resonance, or the vibration of planet Earth, was at 7.8 hertz. That was true up until September of 2016, when it almost doubled to 13.8 hertz. Since that time, it's gone way up, well over 200, and as recently as October 22nd, it climbed as high as 427 hertz. Now, the frequency of love is 528 hertz, and that's going to be reached soon. And as the vibrations go higher and higher on this planet, negative governments, negative people, negative institutions, they will find it very difficult staying here on planet Earth, because the vibrations will literally get too high for them. They have a choice. They can either change and go along with the new program for a beautiful new Earth, or they will exit, like George Bush just exited here a couple days ago, and they'll go to another planet, as Zorra said, on the other side of the solar system, our sister Earth, but that's in a lower vibration of the third dimension. Well, they'll work out their karma, from what I understand, for one Katun Mayan cycle, which is 25,800 years. Now, for me, that's a long time. But in the greater scheme of the Earth, maybe that's not a long time to them, but it's their choice. John McCain went there, I know. Other negative entities are either going to go there or are already there now. So I wish them well, because energy once created is never destroyed. It just transforms itself. And the Earth itself is like a huge spiritual school. We're all some are in college, some have PhDs, some are in grade school, some are in elementary school, some are in kindergarten, but we're all learning. And whenever you run into a negative entity, I think it's very important to realize to treat them with as much love and respect as possible, and don't go down to their negative level. If you can do that, then that usually is the best course. I know it's hard sometimes dealing with negative entities. We have a lot of them on this planet. I've always thought planet Earth as a big mixed bag. But President Kennedy is here, and he wants to give a couple of messages. Is that okay if I bring him in?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Ted.
Okay, yeah, let me bring him in here. Okay, I'm kind of like a telephone, and I transmit messages back and forth, and he's saying that he has never stopped being your president. Still our president of the United States on the other side, and has been since he was assassinated back on November 22nd, 1963. He said that if he had lived, we would be on a different timeline by now, and we would have free energy. Disease would be practically eliminated, as would poverty. Our longevity would have doubled or tripled to 150, easily 250, 225 years. War would be a thing of the past. We would now be exchanging ambassadors with representatives of other advanced human and non-human benevolent civilizations off planet. But he also says in the same breath that even though the negative entities here on the planet tried to alter history, they could not alter our destiny. And he says it's our destiny to become a very loving, kind, benevolent planet. And this is what's happening now. No matter what the negative forces do, they can't stop it, period. This is why, they're a little bit like a cornered animal, that they know that they've lost, so they're going to be very desperate and try anything they can to disrupt it. But just remember that we are destined to become a very benevolent and loving planet. And what that means is that we're going to have a beautiful future for our children and our children's children for succeeding generations. Just remember that, no matter what you're dealing with, any kind of negativity. The other thing he says, too, is that little things count, even though they may not small. When you're out in the street, for example, and you see somebody homeless, acknowledge them, talk to them. If you don't, give them a little money, but if you don't have any money, just give them some words of encouragement, because you'd be surprised how important that is on the spiritual side of things. As I grew up in a psychic family, and for me, it was normal to talk to spirits on the other side. And one of the most important things that they've told me, the spirits have told me, is that you'd be surprised. For example, they gave me, you'd be surprised how important little things can be. For example, there was one instance they told me about a lawyer who made all this money and was very successful in the third dimensional sense. But the most important thing spiritually he ever did, this lawyer did, even though he won lots of cases, the most important thing spiritually he ever did was sit down and talk to a homeless person in this big city up in Canada, Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and console this lady about her problems and try to be of help and give her thoughts and encouragement. And as a result of that talk, that woman was able to turn around her life and get off the street and try and move from being homeless to a productive and happy life. So those little things do count, and every minute counts too. I remember talking to Zorra on my radio show a month or two ago, and I asked him about this particular time, this fall, as a turning point in human history. And his response was, every minute counts, every day counts. So make every minute count and make every day count. And remember that we are all powerful spiritual beings, and we all have that spark of the Creator within us to create a beautiful and bright planet. But President Kennedy is with us now, and he's here, and he's welcome for any questions too. But also, I want to tell you, guess who was with the North Korea and Trump agreement here earlier this year for peace?
Excuse me, Ted, could you repeat that again?
Sure. President Kennedy has been working for peace on the other side. And as one example of that, he told me about this a year ago, but he told me to keep quiet. He says it's okay to tell now about it. A year ago, I was speaking to him, and he said, Ted, I want you to keep this quiet, but I've been working on a peace initiative with several countries. That's all I can say. And I said, okay, understood. And now I knew where he was working. He was working with the minds of President Trump and Kim Jong-un in North Korea. And he said he worked behind the scenes with their subconscious and conscious about finding ways to peace, because they both wanted to find peace, and he was able to help bridge that gap. He's working with other world leaders now, and they know that he's there to find ways for peace. He can't tell me who they are. He'd rather not, but he is working behind the scenes. And he said that even though you may disagree with Trump, and personally I do, some of the decisions, some are good, some not so good. But overall, what the best thing to do with any elected officer is to send him lots of love and light and give him support, because Jack says that President Kennedy has said that, when he was president, there were many people who disagreed with his decisions as well. And so instead of getting angry and everything, it's better to send them lots of support so they can make the best decision possible. Now, President Trump is under a lot of pressure, and he's made a lot of really good decisions, but we're not perfect, and sometimes he does make mistakes. But to send him the support he needs so that he can make good decisions for for this country and humanity. But just remember, we are entering a new age, and Zorra is right. We are Mother Earth herself has ascended, and we're just kind of trying to catch up right now. Of all the planets in this universe, can I bring Professor Einstein in? By the way, is that okay?
Oh, that would be so fantastic. Of course.
Yeah. No, I talk to Albert all the time. Let me bring him in.
Wonderful.
He's
all
laughing.
the time.
No, he's a friend of mine. He says, I thought you'd never ask. Well, I'm sorry. Okay.
We welcome him. We welcome him. Thank you.
No, they're kind of lining up on the other side. There's Albert Einstein, and then there's Mahatma Gandhi behind him. Nostradamus is there, but Nostradamus is busy. I don't like to bother him. He said he'd come on, though, for a brief time.
Okay.
Bobby Kennedy's here. Oh, Here's a new one. Benjamin Franklin's there as well. Oh, okay.
Oh,
well, let's get back to Professor Einstein before I forget. First off, when you talk about Professor Einstein, please call. It's better. He said it's polite to call to say, like, you can use his first name's Albert's fine, or Professor Einstein or Dr. Einstein. Just don't use just Einstein, because he said that's I mean, you usually don't call somebody by their last name. So I said, okay. That's the first thing.
All right. Dr. Einstein.
The second thing, I'm asking him a question if I can share this. He said he can't. I can't. When he was a kid growing up, he used to, his nickname was called Brainy Boy. And what he loved to do, and the teachers always were exasperated with him, he said he'd love to sit in his classrooms and stare out the window and just daydream. And that imagination led to E = MC² and quantum physics and all his other wonderful discoveries. So the educational system today, he says it's, well, the term, I'm not going to say it on the air, but it starts with a C, three more letters. It's,
yes.
And it doesn't help people use their imagination. It does rote memory, especially he really detests Common Core, which was an attempt by the cabal to bring down educational standards in the United States on with other third world countries. And instead of being a beacon of light to the world, we were pulled down. But he said that always he agrees totally with Zorra about using your heart mind rather than your logical mind. He works a lot now in what's called fifth-dimensional and sixth-dimensional physics. There's a physicality to the fifth dimension and sixth and all the other dimensions that's just different from the third. It's each dimension has their own physicality. One of the projects two of the projects that he's been working on is first a spirit phone from this dimension into the fifth dimension, so that people would be able to eventually just pick up a phone and call your great grandfather or call George Washington or Benjamin Franklin if they're not busy, or President Kennedy on the other side. He said that will be possible, and some people actually have started finding ways to do that. There's a lady, he said, in Brazil that started to do that. A good psychic can do that too. You simply go into meditative state and you go into the higher dimensions. Now, what's interesting, Professor Einstein's saying now, is that as the frequency of this planet rises and we shift from the third, then to fourth, and quickly into the fifth, all of us who are in the fifth should be able to contact spirits on the other side very easily, much more easier now than going from the third to the fifth. If you're in the same dimension, then it'll be much easier. He says there's tremendous technological breakthroughs, which will be coming into existence during the next 5-10 years. It's going to be like a marvelous new age for humanity, especially when everyone's going to realize that we in fact all one. President Kennedy has popped back in now, and he wanted to tell you that the planet Earth, from his perspective, if you look at planet Earth now, there's bright pockets of bright white light, all over the planet. There's dark areas too, but there's pockets of bright white light all over the planet. Eventually, those pockets will become, the entire planet will become one ball of bright white light. And that's happening very quickly. And it's going to be happening sooner than you think. But it's all up to our choices, too. We can accelerate this process, or we can slow it down. And he knows that we're all going to make the right decision. It's all a process of waking up and of realizing that we are, in fact, powerful spiritual beings, that this planet is destined to ascend into the higher dimensions. There's going to be challenges ahead of us, President Kennedy says. But just remember that we all have free will and free choice. We don't have to accept any negative people in our lives, and we don't. And the most important thing to realize is that we are all one. We all have that spark of the Supreme Being or the Creator within us. I have a line of other spirits waiting to talk, so I'm going to. How much time do I have, by the way, Jane? Do I have? I'm not sure. Do I have like a half hour, or how long do I talk? Hello, Jane, are you there?
Yes, Ted. I was just going to say, but maybe in about 10, 15 minutes we could go ahead and start with Q&A. I'm sure there are individuals here that will probably have questions for you. Sure.
Okay, good. Let me meditate. I'm going to bring in Nostradamus. I'll see if he's often very busy, but I'll see if I can talk to him. Yeah, he's here. When I talk to him, the date, for some reason, it always goes to December of 1540. And he is sitting, he says that's a good time to talk to him. Yeah, he says he's got a couple of minutes. He's sitting in front of a large oak table, a dark oak or dark table. It's wood. And there's a fireplace behind him. It's all smoky and everything. And he's got a red burgundy cape on with a red burgundy hat on. And, okay, I'll tell him. He wants me to relay this story to you all. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when I first contacted him, he was taking the quatrains that he had written for us back then in 1540, all about a possible World War III or Armageddon, and he was ripping them all up. And then he took out a blank piece of parchment he had these quill pens. It's amazing. They're a long feather, and he dips it into some ink, and he starts scribbling. And he looked at me, and he said, "What kind of world are you and your friends going to create? Because we are on a different timeline now." And I can explain that in a minute. We were on one timeline for World War III, Armageddon, and a lot of conflict up until Fukushima in 3/11. It actually started earlier than that, but we started shifting from a timeline of World War III, Armageddon, and a lot of conflict to a new timeline where we were creating a beautiful new Earth much faster than what Nostradamus originally saw back in 1540. And I said, well, of course, we want to create a beautiful, bright planet that's loving, kind, and peaceful, and everyone lives in harmony. He said, well, you better get to it. You have a lot of work to do. So I said, okay. So anyway, about a year and a half later, 2 years later, I contacted him again. I actually was contacting him several times during that time, but I remember this one conversation I had with him. And instead of having a blank parchment, he had started writing quatrains about what was happening now in our time, in the near future, like 400 or 500 years from his time. But these were good quatrains about all the beautiful new things that people were living in harmony, that there had been an end of war, that cures cures are already there for cancer, for example, but from various political reasons they're not released, and business reasons they're not released, he said. But the thought of disease as we know it on this planet will be something in the past, because people will be living very long lives and will become a truly advanced civilization based upon peace and harmony. And so let me think if it has anything else. No, Nostradamus is saying that we hold the key to our future. If we want a beautiful, bright future, you have to not only do good things, but also think good things too, because your thoughts are very important. That's what, listening earlier, what Zorra was saying. He's absolutely right that we have to think positive things if we want to create a positive future in reality. I'm going to let Nostradamus go now because he says thank you.
Oh, that was
He's
beautiful.
busy.
Yes.
I'm always appreciative of his time. I don't like just to barge in.
Well.
Okay, I wish him well. We have actually we have two spirits waiting to say something briefly. Mahatma Gandhi came to me about 2 years ago, and the most important thing he wants to tell everyone today is that this is a famous quote: "Be the change you wish to see in the world." In other words, if you want to create a beautiful, peaceful planet, don't yell at your kids. Don't get angry with your coworkers, if you can help it. Don't yell at people. Be kind and gentle as best as you can to everyone, and meditate and realize that we all have the spark of the Supreme Being within us. So that if you do hurt somebody, you're hurting yourself, because we are all interconnected as one. He said that through peaceful means, through nonviolent protest, he was able to kick out the British out of India. They had been there for a long time, 150 years in India, by the time that they achieved their independence in August of 1947. And he did that through nonviolent, total nonviolent means, through a lot of meditation. And remember, you have safety in numbers too. If everyone's meditating for peace, that'll definitely have an effect, a positive effect on the planet. And also, he likes Jared Ryan, the fellow who does their prayer meditations. Yeah, he really likes him. He's doing wonderful work. And
we'll let him know. Thank you.
Yeah, let him know he's got Mahatma Gandhi likes his likes his work. Okay, he's stepping back now because there's other spirits. Thank you, Saraiya Gandhi. Thank you, Mr. Gandhi, for that. Benjamin Franklin's here, and okay, all right. I'll tell him. The quote that he wants to give you is that we gave you a republic if you can keep it, and he knows that you'll keep it. But he said this is in respect to our democracy or republic status. And he said that the United States was basically hijacked by the private banks back in about 100 years ago with the Federal Reserve, and which is not federal and it's not reserve. But the whole thing has been a scam, total scam, and the private banks have been issuing money in violation of Article 7 of the Constitution. He said, he just asked me rhetorically, why do you think we put Article 7 in the Constitution? And I just said, well, because we wanted our government, the people of the United States, to issue our currency, not some private banks. And he said, exactly. And if you look at what happened with the creation of the Federal Reserve, it was a total scam, and they passed it during a Christmas recess when senators had gone home, and Mr. Franklin doesn't really care much for Wilson, didn't care for much of Wilson's so-called leadership either. But at any rate, but eventually he said that's going to fall apart. And he's saying that this is not only a time of truth. He's very interesting what he's saying now. He said that this is a time of truth where things that are true will become evident as being true, and this relates into all the indictments that are coming forth. I mean, we've got, 56,000 now. There's going to be more. And household names, he's given me a couple now, will be indicted. Should I tell? He said, no, don't say yes, but just
Oh no,
You,
we probably know that. We probably know them anyway. Household names.
you probably know that anyway. Well, one of them right at the back, Bill Gates. That's going to be one of
Yep.
them. There's quite a few more.
Yes.
I want to. Yeah, there's quite a few more coming. But this is a time of truth, and things that are true are become even more self-evident true. And those that are false will be shown to be false and fall by the wayside. And he said earlier that, what Jack Kennedy or President Kennedy said about things that are false will fall, negative, or in other words, negative governments, negative corporations, negative people, negative institutions, they will fall apart and fall by the wayside. And you'll see this happening. Mother Earth is ascending to the fifth dimension, and she's pretty tired of getting abused, polluted, and not treated with the love and respect that she should be given. Like President Kennedy, Benjamin Franklin is on the other side helping us to ascend into the fifth dimension. He would love nothing better to see us all go there. He realized however, that this is a planet of free will, and there are negative entities who are choosing to go the other path, and he wishes them well. No hatred toward them.
Yeah.
George Sr. just left to go the other side. He was one of the interesting. This is interesting. This is coming from Ben Franklin, and concurred with Jack Kennedy that George Bush Sr. was one of the reasons why we haven't had full disclosure of the Kennedy files in the government. He was one of the big reasons.
Well, that makes sense.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank you for that.
Bush was working behind the scenes last November to keep the disclosure, to keep the papers from being disclosed. There are still a few people left who would be harmed by these things, but they're not many, just a few. Now even, but Bush was one of the main. We're going to see. We'll probably, now that Bush is gone, we're going to probably see more disclosure of those documents.
Beautiful.
But let me ask a question. I don't know if I should tell you this or not. Hold on. I can tell you some of it. When Trump had that last-minute meeting a year ago with the Intelligence Committee, or with the intelligence officers, whatever, just before he was supposed to disclose all the Kennedy documents, they threatened him like they threatened Jack Kennedy. So he pulled back. The other thing, too, is, but there will be disclosure, but it's still some time off. But I think everybody knows what really happened with his assassination. So anyway, but he's working behind the scenes now to help transform this planet. He said, "You've said enough." I said, "Okay, that's all I'm going to say."
Well, that was wonderful. That was so wonderful. We thank you for all of that transmission, from these beautiful beings that are with us and helping out. So thank you for that. Listen, Ted, before we move to questions and answers, maybe you could just tell us a little bit about this fabulous book that you have out.
Oh, you're so kind. Well, it's a book that the spirits were after me for years to write, and I did procrastinate. Everyone's busy, so, but I finally got it done, and it's called Messages from the Masters. It has messages from Dr. Einstein, Nostradamus. J. Robert Oppenheimer is one of the spirits that came true. Leonardo da Vinci's messages from him. A wonderful man. He used to do time travel at night, and that's how he was able to get the diagrams for submarines and flying planes was from time travel. He saw them in the future. President Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy is here, by the way. If there's time, we can talk to him. And Dr. Masaru Emoto as well. I've been talking to him for years. Mahatma Gandhi, Nikola Tesla came through a couple of years ago. I've also been in contact with President Eisenhower. Now, President Eisenhower, interesting fellow. He led, of course, the United States to victory in World War II. He had D-Day in France in June of 1944. He has his agreement with the reptilians and Greys back in March of '54 was probably the worst decision of his presidency, and he regrets that so much because since that time he knows that millions of people were abducted by the Greys and reptilians, and he said it doesn't matter. All the technology we got from that negative civilization was just not worth the price of 6 million people taken off planet. Only 4.5 million, he said, will return. He let me ask whether I should say this. Yeah, he said to go ahead and say this. He actually knew about the Kennedy assassination before it happened. He was informed, but they threatened him too, and so he did nothing, unfortunately. But I still like President Eisenhower. I think he was a good man. He tried to do the best he could. But one of the things he says now is that, he agreed. He was mind-controlled when he met with the reptilians and the Greys back in March of '54 to sign this agreement with them, that in exchange for some of their technology to fight the Soviets, that they would be allowed to abduct and so-called study us. Well, by 1959, 5 years later, the reptilians and the Greys had taken over Area 51, and there were large areas of that base where no humans were allowed, or you'd be shot dead on sight. And so when he tried to send a representative from his office to see what was going on out there, the CIA and the people running the base at the time refused. And it was only after he threatened to order the 6th Army from Denver into that base that they relented and let him in. That's the last time that he said that anyone from the president's office has gone into that base because they don't have a high enough security clearance. And if that doesn't show you the evidence of the deep state, nothing else does. But
Very
I know that I know that the negative entities are getting kicked out and they're leaving. So it's about time. And he regrets. He's had long conversations with Jack Kennedy on what would have happened or could have happened if things had turned out differently. But it's our destiny, Jack Kennedy. He says now it's our destiny to become a benevolent, kind, and loving planet. So it's happening now, and we've waited a long time. I've been here 52,000 years or 720 lifetimes. I came from the Pleiades here to raise consciousness, and this is my last lifetime before I ascend, so I'm doing whatever I can to help them.
This is it, Ted. Okay. And
okay,
could you tell us more about how people can get your book, your famous book, Messages from the Masters?
You can order it from Amazon, and then they'll give me like $1, or you can order it from Amazon. Or you can order it from me, and I'll give you a free reading, too. Autographed copy.
Hey!
Yeah.
Okay, folks.
So,
you got that. You can order it from Ted and get a free reading. That would be wonderful.
yeah.
I do it.
So
where do they go to get it? Where do they go to get that, Ted?
You can just send me an email and I'll send it to you. Or you can go to my website. I think if you go to my email is outofthisworld1150@gmail.com. Outofthisworld1150@gmail.com. And my website is outofthisworld1150.com. www.outofthisworld1150.com. I broadcast on KKNW on 1150 a.m. in Seattle from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time. And the purpose of my shows is to make this world a better place, to raise consciousness. And I now have over 250,000 listeners in over 90 countries right now. Fastest growing, one of the fastest growing spiritual programs, metaphysical programs in the world. So I've had and it's supported entirely by donations, and that's nonprofit.
Oh,
By
okay.
so,
all right.
Yeah.
So thank you for all of that. And you're doing such a magnificent joy for everyone. And you are such a delightful, joyful, wonderful being. Zorra, I'm sure has a few words to say before we go to question and answer. Zorra? Oh,
Indeed.
What? I think Zorra. Oh, there you go. Did you have
I'm
something?
here.
Yes. Did you want
to
say anything more? Yes. Thank you.
Indeed. I would like to, for what is called President Kennedy, to let the people know why he was assassinated.
Oh, all right. Let me ask. That's the question I haven't asked him before, but let me. He said he was ahead of his time. He was trying to quick start or speed up the timelines for ascension of Mother Earth. He was trying to effect changes from the top down that would have speeded up humanity's and ascension into the fifth dimension. But as he discovered, Earth is I think the hardest planet in this universe to affect any positive changes. And the planet itself has been an experiment in evil, which is now failed. It's failed experiment. Actually, it's ending now. And it was an attempt, he said, to raise consciousness with his assassination. But I personally wish he had lived, and we'd have a much better, happier planet now if he had lived. But that's what he said. He said that he was assassinated to raise consciousness, but he had hoped that people would discover how the Kennedy his assassination was actually a conspiracy, and he had hoped that the truth about what had happened to him would have come out much earlier. He didn't realize that the negative elements would fight so vociferously, so strongly, so strikingly to keep that information quiet. Even now, for example, I had a show on President Kennedy a year ago, and I posted it on Facebook, and within probably 3 minutes, Facebook took it down and then banned me on my advertising account for like almost a year. I got it reinstated recently. But, there's some sectors of the cabal that don't want anything about President Kennedy to come out, even now. So,
another part of what was also he didn't want to bring forth, which I will bring forth. Another reason that he was disposed of was because he was going to reveal the truth about Roswell,
right,
about what was termed as Rising Star Texas, about what is termed as the extraterrestrial and governmental affiliation.
That's
so
right.
That was also why he was assassinated.
That's true. You're saying that's absolutely correct. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And his brother likewise.
Same thing. Mm-hmm. Bobby was going to get to the bottom of what happened to his dear brother and also to UFO disclosure, too. So there are a lot of reasons for Bobby's assassination. Would you like to know the true story?
Oh.
You probably already know it, about what happened to Bobby Kennedy.
Go ahead.
Well, before we do, hey, Ted, could you also talk a little bit about JFK Jr. while we're talking about Bobby Kennedy? After that, if you will.
Okay, just briefly, in the interest of time, there was a fellow named Caesar Thane, I think it is. I that's got. Yeah, he said that's right. He was hired by the CIA to go in. He was hired the day before Bobby Kennedy's appearance at the Ambassador Hotel, and when Sirhan was MK Ultra, he was triggered by a lady with pink polka dots to fire the gun. None of the bullets hit Bobby Kennedy in the front. The bullet was actually through his neck and the back, and that was fired by Caesar Thane, who worked for the CIA at the time. And right after he shot Bobby Kennedy, he was whisked away. He flew off to the Philippines, where I think he's lived on a government pension ever since. I'm not sure. There are reports he's come back to the U.S. I don't even know if he's alive or not, but that's the true story behind it. It was all kind of manufactured. And he said that Sirhan is actually innocent party, sitting in jail all these years for a crime he didn't commit. And what was the second question, Jean? I'm sorry, what was the second question?
Oh, it was in regards to JFK Jr.
Oh, right. That was the fellow, the plane.
John. Right.
Yeah, he's on the other side.
John.
Yeah, they were
well,
probably Zorra has quite a bit of probably say about this too, but they were he was well, a couple of reasons. Let me verify this is correct. Yeah, he says he just came in. He said that's correct. He was planning on running for the Senate seat in New York. Well, there were a couple of reasons. He said that Hillary Clinton wanted the seat, so she was one of the people that conspired to have his plane blow up midair or have an accident. The other thing too is that the cabal didn't want. They wanted to get rid of the Kennedy legacy, and they thought that JFK Jr. got in, that they would have more problems from disclosure and getting rid of the Federal Reserve banks, and they just wanted to get rid of him. So there were several different reasons. He's on the other side. There have been reports that he's alive, but Jack says he's there with him now, so he's not. He's on the other side. He's alive, but on the other side. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Zorra.
Indeed.
Yeah, we thought that he's still alive.
No, I don't. I didn't say he was alive, but some people have thought he's alive, but he's not.
Yeah, well, Zorra has mentioned that.
There was what was termed as what occurred was in the same instance of what was termed as the Space Shuttle Challenger. He was removed from the aircraft prior to the explosion.
Oh, okay.
So he is definitely what is termed as incognito.
Okay.
He is alive, and
okay.
He calls himself Q.
Q. Is that Q or not?
Yes.
And ask the accuracy of that to John Kennedy, because he knows it is true.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, he said that's correct. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Wow, I learned something today.
Indeed.
Thank you. Wow, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, he's not on the other side. He is on this side.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
That was close, though.
Anyway. All right. Wow.
So it's getting closer to the end of the hour here. Can we do a little question and answer for Ted and for yourself, Zorra, before we move on to other questions and answers for you, Zorra?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, everybody. Okay, now I'm going to start from the bottom up, because I know all the ones who came on board at the very beginning probably had questions for Zorra, but I'm just asking. So let's go ahead. If you're interested in asking a question of Ted, I'm going to go ahead and just start and see if, well, I guess we'll just go ahead this way. If this is a question for Ted or if it's a question for Zorra. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get started with 770 ending in 1245. Here we are. Hello.
Awesome.
You're
Hi.
you're on the air.
This is Vivian. This is Vivian. Hello, everyone.
Okay. Hello, Vivian.
Hi, Vivian. How are you today?
Great, great. Thank you for all this information, and thanks for being here on the planet at this time. Thank you so much. However, my question is for Zorra, Jane.
Uh-oh.
My question is for
Okay.
Zorra.
All right, Zorra. All right, Zorra. This is yours.
Indeed.
Zorra, we do know that Nasara is only supposed to be announced at Christmas or Easter. Are we still going to be held to that?
According to what is termed as divine plan, that is the course of action, so to speak.
So then if we miss Christmas, we'll have to wait till Easter?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
So what does
That's all
that
I need
mean,
to know.
Zorra? Hey, Zorra?
I will not. I cannot do what is termed as to give a date, so I will not.
Okay. All right. So it's. I guess you can just say it's at any time.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Viv. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Viv. Talk to you later. Thank you. All right. Our next
All right.
caller is 720 ending in 3245. 3245. Hello? Oh, wait a minute. I think I did the wrong one. Sorry. Let me go over here. 3245. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you now. Sorry. Hi. Hello. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. This is Valeria from Colorado.
And your college score?
I am for Zorra.
Okay.
Okay. Zorra, hi. I just have a question.
Hello.
When the RV starts, do you recommend to ask for seeing the screen rate?
A what?
When the RV starts, do you recommend to ask to see the screen rate?
Yes.
Oh yes, of course.
Okay, because I heard like it's going to be like a longer process if you ask for that, and it's going to be like it's going to take longer if you stay with the international rate.
It depends on what you wish monetary wise, whether you want to have a sovereign rate, contract rate, or international rate.
Okay. But you recommend to ask for the screen rate and do the change with that?
I would say if you have projects that you wish to have accomplished, go with the sovereign or the contract rate.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Indeed.
Okay. Thank you, dear. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. All right. I'm gonna go down here because I this might be a call for Ted. 808 ending in 9755. You're on the air. Hello. 808 ending in 9755. You're on the air.
Hawaii.
Yes. Well, but she's not. That person is not answering, Zorra. Last call, 9755. You're on the air with Ted and Zorra. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and put that individual on. All right. We'll go over here to, let's see, 407 ending in 9191.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
We can.
Of course.
Who are you? And yes, tell us
This
who
is
you are,
Beverly.
where you're calling from. Oh, yes. Hi, Beverly. Is this call?
In Florida. Yes.
Yes.
I would like Ted to tell me something about how the Peace Corps fit into that and what its destiny is.
Oh, okay, Ted.
Well, the Peace okay, Jack Kennedy was very proud of the Peace Corps because it was a way for American citizens to go abroad to help other countries truly develop. Since that time, our intelligence agencies have used the Peace Corps as a way to spy in other countries, unfortunately. But the intent of it was a good purpose, and he did it with a pure heart to try to help the developing world back when he was president.
Thank you.
Sure.
And will it fade
nice
away?
I'm sorry?
Will it fade away?
Well, no, actually, he doesn't look at it fading away. As the vibrations rise, it'll go back to its original purpose of truly helping people in developing countries, which is the purpose that he wanted it. It's going to go full circle and go back to what a much purer purpose. Everything got corrupted, he said, after he was assassinated. It'll go back to its original purpose of actually helping countries in a good way, and not used for alternative means, or alternative purposes.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob.
Right.
That's a beautiful question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ted.
Yeah. My
Wonderful to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. Next caller is 562 ending in 6239. Hello. You're on the air.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, hang on one moment, please. Hang on one moment. Hello. Can you hear me now? Oh. It's on. Wait a minute.
We can hear you now.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?
Can you
hear me? This is for Zorra. This is Cindy Taylor. You helped me a couple of years ago, but on the 3rd, on Thanksgiving, blood clots were in my legs, Zorra, and they went to my lungs, and that went into my head. And Jared was helping me on the 24th with Archangel Raphael, and I need your help because I can't get on with what I'm here to do to help Jared and the earth and people if my body doesn't need help. And they have me on all kinds of medicine right now, and I was in ICOU for like 6 days. So, Zorra, I need you to completely heal my body. There are clot bottoms in my lung and in my head, and I'm taking the Libic Arc with Megan. I'm taking garlic and vitamin C to break up the blood clots. I need you. I almost died. Last Wednesday.
Okay.
That's how close I was.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Cindy?
Yeah?
Okay.
Yes?
So Zorra and Ted heard your plea for a healing. So why don't we all do that? Everyone listening, along with Zorra, we are going to send you a healing. All right? So all you have to do is just be silent. And go ahead, Zorra. Let's go ahead and send
I'm going
Cindy.
I'm going to count from 5 to 1. When I get to 1, I'm going to say receive. You count from 5 to 1, and you're going to say I receive. Then you're going to say, from the goddess of my being, the blood clots that were in my body are no more, and I know it. Now remember, beloved child or goddess, whenever you say you have something, do you have it? Whenever you say you have a blood clot, you have a blood clot. Remember, thought is the creator, as thought always is. Whatever you think, you create. Now, understand, when I do this healing, it will be done. It will be complete. It will be whole. And then you think about it no more. You do not say you have something that you do not.
Every part of my body,
Bye.
everything wrong?
Okay, Zorra.
Bye.
Yes.
1. Receive.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I receive.
Accept me herely to be healthful, and give this to my goddess, who I am. My goddess, who I am.
No. Say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I receive.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Receive.
I receive.
I receive.
From the goddess of my being.
For the goddess of my being.
No, from the goddess of my being.
For me, my goddess. For me, it's affecting my ability to speak from the clot in my head. It's affecting my ability to speak.
Yes, we hear that. Okay, so just receive, Cindy. It's okay. Relax.
Relax.
Cindy.
Relax.
Just relax. Breathe easy.
Relax.
And just receive this loving energy.
This energy.
The energy. It's beautiful. It's healing you. Every part of your body, Cindy. Every single particle. You are being healed.
Healing me now. No.
Yes.
And I know it.
Right now.
I know this.
Good.
Okay, very good.
Now, hold fast to that part that says, I am healed of the blood clots, and I know it.
I am helpful, and I'm hear it. I'm helpful. I'm helpful.
Oh.
I'm helpful.
Yes, you are and very healthy.
Helpful.
And I know it.
Okay.
And I know this.
Yes.
Good.
Very
good. Just hold fast to that.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for assisting in Cindy's healing. All right, Cindy. Much love to you. We'll let you go.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Continue. Yes. Continue in your healing. All right. Bye-bye.
Love you.
We love you, too. Thank you, Zorra.
Thank you, Zorra.
Indeed.
Fantastic. Yes.
That was beautiful. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Our next caller is 3786 970 ending in 3786. Let's see.
Yes, hello. This is Barbara in Colorado. Oh, this is an amazing call. And thank you, Ted. Oh, this is such a gift to us to hear from these most amazing people. And my question is to Ted.
Good.
Please can you give more information about this time now and the alliance along with the Galactics, along with Trump, along with all of this, and where we all are as a consciousness, why this time is going to be the time where we really do change things, where we really do become free. And do you know what I'm saying? I mean, please say a little bit more about why this time the cabal will not win. We will persevere.
I think the short answer, and I know Zorra has some wonderful things about the Thetas too, but from my perspective, what my spirit guides have been telling me is that the Earth has been wanting to ascend for quite some time, and she's decided just to go ahead and start the process. So that's and humanity here has to play catch up, and we are destined to create a beautiful, bright planet, but we've got work to do. We have to be part of that as well. Nothing's going to be handed to us, and I think that the Creator wants us to be a part of it and also to work hard for it. one of the main factors, of course, in this ascension process is that the frequencies have been rising very dramatically. Our Earth scientists had to create a new logarithm for the human residence, which is the frequency of planet Earth, because for thousands of years, the human residence was only 7.8 hertz. As of late in October, it reached all the way to 427 hertz. I think it's gone down since that time, but the main trend is up, and it's going to go higher and higher, shift suddenly into the fourth dimension and then fifth. And so this is why this is such a critical time. And so everyone has to do several things. First off, pay very close attention to your thoughts. Always try to be positive. If you deal with negative people or entities, don't go down to their level. Try to keep a positive stance on everything if possible. And because remember that this planet is like a school. We have people in all different kinds of schools and levels. And you may be in college, but you'll meet somebody who's in kindergarten spiritually. And but this is a very critical time in human history. This is the first time since the fall of Atlantis that we've had a chance to really ascend into the higher dimensions. But it's happening, and it's happening now before our eyes. All of us, it's not easy to be here now, but all of us asked to be here. We reincarnated in our soul contract, wanted us to be here, to witness this and be part of it. So that's why it's such a critical time. The time is now, and it's happening. The next 5 years are going to be truly amazing. And it's an event that I know I've waited a long time for, many lifetimes to witness. And anything you can do to help in the ascension process is really welcomed by Gaia and the Supreme Being and the Creator. And that can include being nice to somebody who's homeless on the street. Maybe making a Christmas dinner or giving groceries to a down-and-out family.
Hey, Ted?
The little things do count. Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, there's a lot of disruption in the background. Barbara, I don't know if that's you or it's coming from Ted's line. Can you put Barbara?
Yes.
Yeah, there's that interference in the background that was quite a bit.
I don't hear it where I am, but...
Yeah, you don't hear it. Uh-huh. Okay.
Echo.
An echo,
yeah. There's an echo. Right.
Okay.
Well, anyway, yeah. So, Barbara, did you get your question answered? I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yes, but I guess we're at the core of it is that we're all getting individually that we need to raise our own vibration and join together and love. I get all that, but I guess it's just the feeling of so long, many lifetimes, and we're at this point where we're still seeing such suffering and, in so many ways. And I just wanted to hear something from the masters or guides that why can we believe truly, like the light is, this time we're doing it. I guess that's the thing I was asking.
My guides, my spirit guides, the messages I've gotten from them have never been wrong. And I've been in touch with them I've been talking to the other side for 24, 25 years. So they told me several years ago that we were ascending, and this is a very critical time in human history.
Yeah.
I know that they're telling me the truth, and the things that Zorra's told me too, it's the same thing. I don't have any doubts about it whatsoever. That's just from me.
Right.
Everything they've told me for like 25 years.
Beloved Ted.
I don't have any doubts.
Hey, Barbara?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we need to move on because
there's
too much.
Thank you. I hear.
Yeah.
I hear it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, Barbara.
Thank you.
Beloved
Ted. Yes.
Yes, beloved Ted. Bring forth Tesla. Tesla has a few words of upliftment to say.
Okay. Ted, before you do that, Ted, anyone who comes on the call, make sure you're not on a speakerphone, because otherwise we'll be hearing disturbance echoes, etc. So thank you. All right, go ahead, Ted. Thank you.
Nikolai is here. Thank you for asking him. He was one of the spirits waiting to come on earlier. He says he's got all the time in the world on his side. Because
we wish we were on that side too.
He said there's no time on the other side. So right. He's laughing now. But he's here with Jack Kennedy, and they're both saying, or Mr. Tesla Nikolai is saying that this planet is not only supposed to, the sun just came through my windows when I started speaking. They're here. This planet is destined to have free energy. It's destined. The oil industry should have been gone 50, 60 years ago. He had the technology, and he channeled the technology from his ET friend, benevolent ET friends, for free energy. Unfortunately, after he passed in the early 40s, I think it was January 43, all of that went into the depths of the cabal and the secret parts of the U.S. government. So the humanity on this planet didn't see that, but we will be seeing, along with disclosure, will come the release of this technology, and the oil companies know it. But they're hanging on to the very last, till the very last. They can sell the very last drop of oil. Sure, petroleum products, he said, will have some use in the future, but they won't be able to charge as much as they do now for oil. But we're looking not only with the age of disclosure will be the disclosure as well to this free energy, which will truly benefit humanity.
Wonderful. Thank you.
That's what he said.
Thank you very much for Mr. Nikolai Tesla to be here. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
sure.
We'll go ahead. Hey, Zorra, we're going to go on to the next speaker. Okay?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, here we go. This is 773 ending in 0410. Welcome.
Hi, Jane. Hi, Zorra. This is Dr. Jan from Chicago calling.
Well, hi there, Jan.
And hi. And hi, Ted. I love all of those people coming through. This is very timely. We need all that information. And my question actually is for Zorra regarding my father, John, because he recently had almost a mini seizure. And we were concerned, and then it kind of became more global, but not where he was unconscious. And I just wondered if you could tell me if he was going through a reset of sorts, because we did give him a little bit of the revitalized structured water to see if we can just kind of clear out, his tube feedings, the chemicals or toxins that are in that, the GMOs basically, if that affected it or if it was something completely separate, because he's getting better and stronger. We want to eventually get the Lapis Pro for him or the Limbic Arc, but he can't have a phone where he's at in the nursing home because it'll be stolen, basically. But the other things we can do once we RV, and I'm just wondering if you can give me more information of what happened during that mini seizure and what it was related to.
He now has, in his body, a walk-in.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And the walk-in will benefit him in several ways.
Oh.
And also, it will reestablish his immune system.
Hallelujah.
And because he has a mission, and he knows what it is.
And is that to be revealed to us soon? I mean, can you tell us, is it from Palladian?
The walk-in is Pleiadian.
Oh, awesome. And
so yes, and he will bring this forth, information about it, in the very near future.
And is John still there too?
Again?
Mm-hmm.
Who's John?
My father's name is if a walk-in came in, is my father and the walk-in together in his vessel?
Oh, presently?
No. And did this happen Did this happen during that seizure?
Indeed.
And did the revitalized water help my father or the being to? Can we continue that?
If you wish, go ahead.
Okay. Or is there no need for anything because the walk-in has a stronger energy, energy presence in my dad's body?
Well, the water's not going to hurt him.
Right. I understand that. Okay, that's good to know. Just a very quick question. So when my father communicated to my mother through my boyfriend Roger to thank my mother and give her flowers from him, was that from John or the walk-in?
From John.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Jan.
Indeed.
Thank you for your...
Love you all.
Bye
Love
now.
you all.
Okay, love you too.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Next person is, hold on a second, 502 ending in 7576.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, I am Pamela from Kentucky. And
Hi,
my question is for either one, Zorra or Ted. I have been wondering ever since I started listening to these calls and all the things that you all talk about, about what's going to happen to Earth and to us. How does this coincide with the Bible and what the Bible tells us about what's going to happen to us?
Zorra, you go first.
this may take a little while. And Zorra, you have a couple of minutes because we will be ending this call like in 10 minutes, and we still have to do a healing for everyone.
Indeed. To put it simple, would be to say that. Wait a moment.
Zorra?
Repeat question, please. Repeat the question, please.
Repeat the question? Okay. How, you all tell us how things are going to happen. Yes, and how does that coincide with what the Bible tells us?
Now, let me explain something. Let me tell you about your Bible. Understand your Bible was written by men, inspired by the Creator. Also understand that because it was written by men, it was also influenced by the ruler at that time. And that ruler was King James. Now, understand that in the Bible, where it talks about, in Matthew, where Jesus said, "Marvel not what I do, for greater shall you do if you only believe in my name." The "in my name" are the words of King James, not Yeshua.
Oh.
That is King James putting his, what you term, 2 cents in there. So whenever the Bible says to believe in my name are not words of Yeshua. They are the words of King James. Because at that time he was the king and he also considered God. But in reality, the way it should have been written was, "Marvel not what I do, for greater shall you do, if you only know that you can do it."
Oh, how beautiful. How beautiful.
Now, does that not bring the scripture alive more better?
Yeah.
Does that not give it more power? Of course it does.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes, because we're told that it is the
that
living
is
word.
The way. That is the way you should read it. Also, in Genesis, God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and with our powers and abilities." That is in your original Dead Sea Scrolls. Now, and that was not included into the Christian Bible, but it should have been. But they did not want the population to know that they are very powerful beings, gods and goddesses, and you are, every one of you. You are gods and goddesses, and you are also healers. There is no reason for anyone to be ill on this planet. There is no reason for anyone to be sick. You have the ability within you, beloved goddess, to heal everyone you come in contact with.
Okay.
Zara?
Now, what? Go ahead.
So that is the correlation.
Yeah. Yeah, we have.
Okay. Now, what about
two more people we have to ask questions.
I'm sorry?
The ascension is when you ascend. You have one or two ways to ascend. You ascend with your body or you ascend without it. The ones who ascend without it is because their contract is up and they choose not to take their bodies with them. The other way is to take their body with them, and they do that too.
Okay. And so does that mean when you
So we must move on.
Okay.
Well, just
Thank you very much.
Go ahead. Go ahead and finish your sentence.
Yeah.
Well, I was just wondering, it says that once we die or ascend, we go to heaven. So is heaven, how does heaven relate
when you die,
to all of this?
when you perish, as you term it, you do not die, you ascend. You ascend into a full fifth-dimensional understanding.
And is that heaven?
That is beyond heaven.
I've been a little confused about all of that. So thank you for answering
that. I will also tell you that Satan does not exist. He is a thought form and nothing more.
Okay. All right. I think we need to take this call to this other question into a different time. So I apologize, but we do have. I would like to be able to finish up the other two questionnaires or two questions. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your questions. Okay. All right. So one question only. We only have like 5 minutes, and I know that and then it's going to go off. We're going to go off the air, everybody. So 407 ending in 7570. You're on the air. You're on the air.
Hello. Hi.
Yes.
Hello there.
The air.
Hi. Happy joyful Sunday.
Yes. Tell us who you are, where you're calling from, and is this call for Zorra or for Ted?
This is Tommy from Florida, and this question is for Zorra.
Okay.
What is the question?
Zorra, I'm so bored of this surface world. Is there a way you could tell me where's the closest entrance to Hollow Earth besides North Pole and South Pole? I would like to move there. I'm coming to visit you soon.
Well, if you do not wish to go to the North Polar opening or the South Polar opening, the next best opening would be Mount Shasta, California.
California, okay.
Indeed.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Send me an email if you're interested in going one of my trips, Tommy. Yeah, just send me an email.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Next question.
Caller, everybody. Next question is 208 ending in 8394.
I'm sorry, honey.
And then
I know I'm too loud.
Well,
hello?
I know.
You're
I was
on the
so
air.
shocked. I did not know.
Hello?
I was so late.
Hi, you're still on the
Because
air.
I told her we'd be here at 12:15.
Hello, are you on the air? 208 ending in 8394. You are on the air with Zorra and Ted.
Hi, Jane. Can you hear me?
Of course.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Oh, okay, great.
you have 1 minute.
Okay. Okay. Love all you guys. You are just so wonderful. Thank you so much for being there and helping us all with different, all the information you're giving us. And this is Pawnee from Idaho. Okay. Love you guys. And thank you, Ted, for your information. And I love all the people that you brought on, too. Okay. Take care.
Oh.
Love you, love you, love you.
Thank you, Pawnee. Wonderful. Okay.
5,
right.
4, 3, 2, 1. Receive.
Receive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We receive. Great
we receive.
Great
God,
wealth,
regardless of my
and
being,
abundance.
I am completely healed of, and fill in the
I am
blanks.
completely healed of.
Whatever.
And we know it. Okay.
And we know it.
So
and
we
we
want
know it to be true.
Yes. Ted, thank you so much for being on this wonderful call with us. You were wonderful. It was so very, very lovely. Wonderful. Thank you.
Jane, so much.
Again, everybody.
Thank you,
yes,
Zorra.
Go ahead. Yes,
Indeed.
Thank you, Ted. Okay. We'll talk later.
My pleasure.
And then, so for
all right, my friends. Have
a
beautiful and happy weekend, everyone. Thank you so much again for having me on. Really appreciate it.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Ted. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, Jane. All right. Bye.
Indeed.
Okay. All right, everybody. You know where to find his book. And Zorra, let's go ahead and end our call.
Indeed. Just remember, beloveds, that you are gods and goddesses, and you are healers. You have the power within you to heal and change your world. All you have to do is do it. Use your goddess and God powers to do that. Heal your fellow man. You see someone who is homeless on the street, give them subsistence. If they need currency, give them some currency. Not a whole lot, just what you feel they deserve. And with that, may harmony, peace, joy, laughter, healing, much love be with you and your beloveds. And have yourself a wondrous, glorious, and loving day. And we are complete.